of course, you know that all of our blog stuff that we're in this blog is not personal. It's blog adventures.
It's fun.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I can tell you're having fun with me. That's okay. Yeah. You have to know that I don't hate bus drivers.
Yeah, I hear that. I want to make a.
I love my bus driver, even though they changed my line. Yeah. Have you been in Washington County routes most of your career?
Actually the first 5 to 6 years. I lived closer to the Center Street Garage in Southeast 17th. But I learned after about 5 or 6 years that Washington County is really, Merle's garage, the garage itself, as well as Washington County, is really a preferable place to drive buses. Traffic always. The trains have right away over the period.
No, I was going to take the max out here, but I had a pile of reader. I get about 200 emails a day from readers wanting me to. A lot of them are readers wanting to check out traffic lights they think are bad or intersections that are weird. And there are a few out here in this area, so I was going to take the max out today. I thought it'd be easier, but I figured I better get out here.
Well, let's show you one that's really bad on this route.
So is this a typical load for you during the rush hour?
Yeah, pretty much.
Not too bad.
Waiting at 150. 67 is not a high volume route, but it's huge. I mean, people pick up a lot more at 158 max stuff. 67 has been. How long has the 67 been in operation at, Jason?
Well, in this configuration since Westside Max opened in 1998. But there was a 67, which was different before that.
What was that to me though? How long is 67?
1998. It was when they opened Westside Max. That's when the current configuration.
Jason McCuff knows everything about it.
I was thinking about that.
There was a 67, but it was different. You know, it wasn't.
Did it go up Bethany? Do you even know what it was?
I think it might have been to that Merle garage and went north from there. Went north up Merle.
Well, these people that live out here never really expected the bus service to be terminated on weekdays. Nobody imagined it would happen. A lot of people move out to these places because there's bus service and gets them out of the city. You know, they don't have to live in the city. They want to live out of the city. And they go, well, there's a bus that runs here, so let's move. And now they're being abandoned. And that's how I feel.
Well, you're not the only one. Like I said, I get a lot of emails every day. As these decisions get closer and closer, I'll be writing about a few of them. Try to choose which bus lines to look at.
I don't think any of them should cut back everything. You want to cut 8%, then cut everything. You know, I still have problems with all the expansion. And what that's really caused to the budget. And what would the cutbacks be without the expansion? We didn't have the Green Line, we didn't have the West. The cutbacks obviously would not have been anywhere near as significant. But those things are going to keep running no matter what, apparently. And so everything else has to give. And that's the point that after we ran the red light, first time I read your red light stories and the article about the starting of the economy. Okay, that's a news story, and sure, it did create a lot of people out in the community started looking for bus drivers running red lights after that. They started taking pictures of bus drivers running red lights. And so that created what's already an anti-TriMet feeling anyway. I don't know if you realize TriMet is the one public agency that gets the worst public view for some reason. The city of Bluff can spend wildly on all kinds of crazy things. Multnomah County TriMet, any little thing that goes on here, it's like there's like almost a bloodthirst with the public. And I've watched it on blogs, especially when there's a TriMet incident. Somebody does something wrong, a bus driver, boy, the public goes nuts over it. Okay, you'll get 100 people commenting on a TriMet story. And they generally, most of the stuff I see is anti-TriMet on the blog. Most of the stuff is anti-TriMet. And I've been doing this for years. I've been blogging this stuff 10 years, 12 years. So I'm real sensitive when I see that kind of stuff. And the second story that came out, that's when I started saying, okay, you know Amy Ruiz, you remember her? You know who she is? She was at the Mercury.
Oh, sure. She works at the mayor's office.
Now she works at the mayor's office. But she ran a story about an incident that happened on a bus, and it was blown way out of proportion to what the actual incident was.
What was the incident?
The incident was two teenagers were kissing in the back of the bus.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, sure.
Okay, so they got removed, and it went into a worldwide incident, a worldwide news story. And the reality of the matter was it really, and all the bus drivers in Portland became homophobes, and bus drivers were, we were all brand. They were having demonstrations. They were having kisses on our buses, as a result of that story. So I mean, it was wrong. That's not how we operate. That was one guy who did it after they had disobeyed what he asked. Now, I'm not going to debate whether it was right or wrong or whatever, but the results of the news story were a huge problem for the rest of us. So, you know, one story, the second story that you ran with the texting, that's when I got to go on. That's when I started seeing a pattern. Okay, now we got to have this issue. Now, this wasn't even a bus. This thing that happened in Boston wasn't even a bus. It was a train. But now, you're watching all of these, the public backlash. These bus drivers are texting. So you're taking one story and throwing it out of proportion.
Did you see the post that ran before that story? That was the video of the San Antonio Express's investigation where they had the video of the bus drivers talking on their cell phone and texting and getting in a really bad accident. And I understand what you're saying is that you it's hard when you're under the microscope in the public and you're driving these big buses and you work for a public agency that a lot of people like to criticize, that you can't take it personally. But the role of the press, and part of my role, is not only to help people understand how the agency works and help them get around, but to be a watchdog of public agencies. And it was my job when I saw a pattern of the train in California last year when there was a crash, there was texting, then you had the investigation in San Antonio, then right after that the Boston incident. That's a trend, and so it's up to me to ask TriMet. It's not a matter of me saying, oh, well, we've got a problem here and I'm going to find one. It was just me simply asking, because people were sending me emails saying, have you asked TriMet whether or not what their policy is on texting? The public wants to know these things, so I sent an email to Mary Fetch and I asked her, what is the policy? Have you had any problems with this? The basic questions, and she responded. It ended there. I haven't done anything since then. It doesn't seem to be a problem.
No.
But at the same time, I have my role to be taken, to be serious about this is above all else, I have to be a watchdog. And that doesn't mean like I said.
I appreciate that point of view now. You're not just trying to sell papers, right?
Well, I'm not selling papers. 90% of what I do is on the internet. And it's not a matter of trying to sell papers. It's a matter of trying to make sure that people are informed. They watch television. They're going to see stories and videos of these operators who are texting.
Yeah, I agree that any of these operators are doing stuff while the bus is in motion.
It's my job. So what I did was diffuse any misperception that is out there about bus drivers in Portland, Oregon, that it's not really a problem. TriMet gave
was the end of. I know.
Yeah, I haven't done anything on it since then.
I hadn't seen the conclusion of it.
So what do you think I should be writing about when it comes to TriMet? What story might I know. What story am I missing?
I might have misinterpreted his anti-bus driver rhetoric a bit, but I'm very sensitive to that because I know how the public reacts to anti-bus driver rhetoric.